Hi guys, my name is Rahul and today we are going to take a look at the Poco F1. Poco F1 is the first device launched by a new brand called Poco Phone, and this is a sub-brand of Xiaomi. So they created this hype by releasing a phone at 21K with the latest flagship spec like Snapdragon 845. So it had all the latest specs, hardware specs internally to be on the radar of everyone. It's true that they create a like kind of hype though, and in terms of specs, it is really great. But is it enough to be called a flagship phone? We will dive into the details of this phone and see whether it is worth your money. So on the back of the chart, you can see that its design is really bland. I don't think anybody will confuse this phone as a flagship because of its design. It's a plastic build and they have their reasons for that. They cut down on the design by saying that you will be anyways using a case on any type of phone. So what's the point of having a premium material? I don't disagree with them. It's a kind of solid phone with a plastic build, but it does not look really good. I mean, at this price point right now we have a lot of good looking phones, but in turn you get a 3.5 headphone jack. It has USB type C port, and even though it has a 4000 mAh battery and 6.18 inch screen, it feels pretty good in hands, and the weight distribution is right, and it has a very fast fingerprint scanner on the back. It also goes with an IR face unlock, which is useful for faster face unlock even at the low light or night point, which cannot be provided by other manufacturers. So in terms of design, it's bland, but it has certain number of features to make it interesting. So in terms of display, it has a 6.18-inch Full HD plus display. So display is not really great. It does not have great colors on the back. Also, it has a huge nose, but you can say that it has an infrared sensor. You can say that the notch is bigger because of that. But in terms of display, it's not the greater display. It has a peak brightness of 439 nits, and it's pretty reflective and the colors are drab. Even though I have amped up the saturation, it really didn't have helped the phone, but it's a good display. At this price point you still can get better phones with better displays. So in terms of software, it is using obviously the MI UI with a twist. I mean, with a Poco launcher. With Poco launcher, you get an app drawer unlike the MI UI. It performs really fast, and you are getting faster updates than any other phones. At least in terms of Xiaomi's update cycle. I mean, it has Android 9 already, and it's also got the security patch of December right now. Even though when I was putting up the review only that update came up, so I have not put it, but right now I'm showing the Android 9 update, and also it has the November security patch. uh, as I mentioned, that December security patch is already out. It has lot of features. Also, it does not bog down the UI. Obviously it has so much high performance uh, internal, so it will not be slow down, but yet it's a very capable phone with lot of features. It's very fluid too. So UI is I like the UMI UI, so that is that. And it comes with obviously the Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 and comes with liquid cooling. There is no doubt that it will be one of the best performing phones available. At 21K it is unbeatable. I mean, it has liquid cooling, so more number of times or more hours you spend on gaming, liquid cooling can help to keep uh, the phone really cool. I don't know, it really helps. I'm not a gamer, but I do had done little gaming. It didn't get warm or anything like that, but yeah, it helps if it works properly. I am going to give you a sample of the gameplay, and also this sample also give you a detail about how the loudspeaker of this phone works. It has dual speakers, but I think the speaker on the earpiece is not that great, and I can say that in terms of networking also, it works really well. Communication, 4G and Wi-Fi, it really works well in terms of connectivity also. So let's talk about the battery, which is also the best thing about this phone. The 4000 mAh battery works really well. I am getting up to 6 hours 30 minutes to 7.5 hours depending on the usage, and you can see it performs really well with in gaming and everything. So you can continuously game because of the huge battery it has. It performs really well for me. I am a heavy user, even though I'm not a really gamer, but I really push my phone. I really use my phone really hard, so it really works really well. So in terms of battery, the performance, this combination is really good. No other flagship can offer you this much performance with this much battery life. So in terms of battery life, it's a huge thumbs up for me. Other than the battery, it also supports the QC Quick Charge 3.0, and the best thing about this thing is that Poco is actually bundling the Quick Charge 3 charger with the phone. Kudos to Poco for that. And let's talk about the camera. In rear, it has 12 MP f1.9 primary sensor and 5 MP depth sensor, and also a dual LED flash. And on the front, it has 20 MP f2.0 camera without flash. So let's open up the camera app and see what are the features it is offering. So you have the flash toggle, and also you have the HDR toggle, then the AI toggle is there. Then there are a lot of filters, just like Instagram. You can take the pictures as filter straight out. Slow on settings, then there is timer, tilt shift straighten, group selfie and the beautify, and you can actually open the dual camera watermark. Then there is the watermark, and there's a grid lines. There are front camera. Then you can use the fingerprint as the shutter button. Then let's see what are the things you can let me take a thing saying that I have got that late December update just after completing the review. So you can see that there is short video, photos, portrait mode, square mode, panorama mode, and full-fledged manual mode. Along with that, you will get a super slow mode and a night mode in the camera app in the same space when you get the latest update. So in terms of video setting, you can time lapse and slow motion is there. It can record up to 4K 30 fps, and also there is 1080p 30 fps mode. Unfortunately, even though chipset support is 4K 60 fps is not yet available. Poco said that they will be giving that update in the February, so we can look into that at that time. Then there is slow motion, that is 1080p at 240 fps. As I mentioned, you can also record 960 fps at 720p with the latest update. And there is also you can adjust the uh, interval of time-lapse videos. It does not have a optical image stabilization hardware optical stabilization. It does supports EIS, and EIS only works at 1080p. And on the front camera also it can record up to 1080p, and there are no EIS is present for the front camera recording. In terms of camera, I can say that it is pretty fast. The shutter speed, I mean, there is no shutter lag here. The focusing is also pretty good, especially on the daylight. In night mode it might little bit struggle, but it does record fast, and also macro shots also come, macro clicks also it focuses pretty decently. So let's go into the samples. So in terms of samples, I can say that it produces great pictures at daylight. Yeah, sometimes I have turned on the AI on, so sometimes with the AI, colors are a little bit boosted, and it's perfect for social media. It does have enough details also for 20 MB. The macro shots comes out nice, and with f1.9 aperture, you get a decent bokeh also. As I mentioned, the pictures at daylight look really good. So in terms of low light, when there's enough light, it can get great shots, but if you zoom into the photos, it does not have any details. It looks smudged. So in terms of low light or night mode, it's average. But obviously you can use the manual mode to get better pictures. I will put a sample for that. This is the auto mode, and this is something I have clicked on the manual mode. Then let's talk about the portrait mode is really great. I have think that Xiaomi has nailed the depth or the edge detection in the previous phones as well. So portrait mode works fine in the daytime. Nighttime it's loses too much details. And for the front camera, it works really well. The HDR is a hit or miss. When the HDR works, the photo looks really great like this, but not always the HDR works on the auto mode, so you have to turn the HDR mode or in the manual way. That's a better way to get a good HDR photos. Also the portrait mode also works good. Look, the edge detection is fine, the detail is fine. There is a little bit of beautification, but I'm fine with that. But the low light or night mode is average. As in, just like the rear camera, there are a lot of detail loss in the low light. This is the primary camera video sample of Poco F1. As I mentioned, in 1080p EIS is present, so it works really well and it is decently detailed for 1080p. 4K video is very detailed but it's too shaky, and the low light samples are pretty bad because of the EIS. This is the video recording of Realme 2. As you can see, there are a lot of shaking because of the EIS. It is not usable in the low light or night mode. This is the video sample of Poco F1. Front-facing sample is nice, it handles dynamic range, but it has serious exposure issues. On the background, it actually blows out the highlights. There is no EAS, so there is no EAS. This that's is a low light sample of Poco F1 front camera. Low light sample is pretty poor, just like the rear camera. It is not even usable at the low light or night mode. So there is this 1080p 240 fps. It really works very refined. So you can see how good it looks in 1080p 240 fps. Also, I actually forgot to mention about the connectivity. I have used this with Jio 4G VoLTE and the BSNL and Tata Docomo. It works really fine with every other SIM. So connectivity is great. Wi-Fi also really works fine, and the Bluetooth also is really great. So as I mentioned, with the latest update you get also 960 fps 720p. I am going to put two samples for that, and it also, even though it is software generated, it really looks good, especially the other clip which I shot with my nephew. Also with the latest update, what happened is the night mode is enabled. So if you install Google camera with the latest Pixel 3 APK, you also get enabled the awesome night sight of the Google camera or the Pixel camera. With Google camera APK, as I mentioned, the photos really look two times better than the original auto mode photos you get from the Poco or the Xiaomi camera app. You can see how good it is, whether it is selfies, whether it is the rear camera on when there is not enough light. Also, even the HDR is really good. You can see that from the, this is the photos I clicked with auto mode. You can see the night photos are really good. Even you can zoom into the photos, there will be enough details. Also the portrait mode in the rear camera and the front camera is really good. And about what I talk about night side, I will be putting the samples. This is the Poco F1 auto mode in the low light. This is a sample with the newest night mode feature. It's a little better than the auto mode, but if you use the Google night sight, it's a different picture altogether, man. This is really good. So to conclude Poco F1 review, I can say that this is one of the best phone available for this price. It has great flagship performance with Snapdragon 845 chipset. It has amazing battery life with this 4000 mAh battery, and there is also this camera which is already pretty good. But you can install Google camera for better performance, and with the latest update you also get the 960 fps super slow mo motion, which is only available with high-end flagships. Yes, it is software enabled, but it works pretty fine. You can see that from my samples already. I have given that, and also it also enables this night mode in Xiaomi's camera, but it's okay. But if you have the latest Google camera app, you can get this amazing low light shots with the night side mode in the Google's Pixel camera APK. So also design is okay. I understand that design is not the great. It's a plastic phone and all, but you any which ways you will use a cover for a phone, so it might not matter too much. I like the display. The weakest point of this phone is the display. Display is average. It does not have much colors. No, it's not saturated. If you turn on the saturation mode also, it's not that great. And also the problem is that there is some kind of screen bleeding issue on the bottom half of a screen. In my phone it is not really visible, but if you look for it, you can find that there is slight screen bleeding at the bottom of the screen. I don't find it as a much bigger issue, but you can get better design and also better screens at this price point. Below this price point, I mean, there are a lot of phones that is available with great screens and great design at this price point or below this price point. At 15K there are a lot of phones nowadays. So but overall, if you want, if you're a gamer, you are a property user, anybody can use this phone without fear, and it is one of the best performing phone at this price point. And also when there is sale day or Republic Day offers, there will be it, this is already available for 21K. You can get it for much lesser price. So if anyone asks for the best phone available for 20K price point, I will without a doubt I will suggest them to buy Poco F1. Thank you for watching this review. See you on the next one.